Hi, I'm Dr. Mike from the Springfield Wellness Center, and what we're going to talk about today is iliotibial band syndrome, otherwise known as IT band syndrome. Very common runners and lifters alike can either present as like a lateral hip pain or a lot of times lateral knee pain just on the outside of the knee, typically described as a sharp in sensation or kind of a burning sensation. A lot of people want to really go ahead and treat the knee area of pain, and typically that's not where the pain comes from, so you're kind of doing null and void by working that area. The area we need to work is up in the lateral part of the hip. A little muscle called the tensor fasciolata, TFL, it's kind of like this, sits on the outside of our hip, sends a tendon all the way down the outside of our leg, kind of like the seam of my pants, and attaches on the other side of the knee. When that gets too tight, it can turn the toe in an outward position, cause a lot of stress through that knee. And so what we're going to talk about today, just some stretches and things you can do real quick to help combat this. First thing that we're going to use is we're going to use a foam roller. So what we'll do, lay it flat on the ground, we're going to get directly on top of that spot of our hip, and we're basically just going to roll ourselves back and forth in this position from basically about the hip bone up to the crest of our pelvis, across on the back side. Just kind of roll ourselves back and forth. We can kind of roll this way, anything you do to really stretch out that muscle. Second thing, very similar, a little bit more precise in terms of what it's doing, is going to be to use a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball. Same thing, get ourselves directly on top of that spot. We're just going to roll ourselves side to side, find the spots that feel kind of nasty, and that's kind of where you want to hang out and spend a little bit more time working that portion of it out. You should be doing each of these anywhere a couple minutes a piece. Make sure you don't neglect the other side as well, but obviously spending a little bit more side on the side that's giving the most problems. Last one is just a simple stretch. We're going to use a stretch band. You can use a belt, you can use a piece of rope, whatever. We're going to tack it around our foot and lay down. Get to where we get a nice hamstring stretch. Back it off a little bit, and then bring it across the body, making sure to keep my lower side of my pelvis still on the ground. If I go too much, I'm twisting too much, not going to do us a whole lot of good. So good hamstring stretch, come back a little bit, and then bring it straight across the body, and you'll feel a real big pull in the side of your hip, all the way down to the lateral part of the knee. If you have any more questions or want any more information about the center here itself, you can find us at wellnessspringfield.com.